All right. When's digital taking us? Copy all. Please let me know. I keep calling the live now guys, and they're either I don't know what's going on. It's like they hang up on me. Are we up on the internet? Did you say we're up on the internet? Okay. All right, copy. Yeah, no, I have to put it under my headset, and they just keep hanging up on me. Like I hear them, and then it goes dead. But they're all right. I'll try again. And I'm also waiting to go live on the internet. Let me know if try it again. Hello. Hey, what's happening? Are we already live or we are live or we're not? I'm sorry. I actually have a cell phone underneath my headsets. That's how I'm talking to you. I'm sorry. It's the best. It's best it's gonna get. It's the best it's gonna get. I'm sorry. Yeah, anytime, 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 anytime. And what's the show? What's the show? What's the show? It's live now. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yes, I can. And I'm so glad to be on live now. You have no idea. And it is a pursuit. And you know what? As soon as you come to us, yes, I can hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me. No, that's what we've been having this issue a little bit earlier on. No, the pursuit continues to go on out here, and if you guys are just starting to watch it, you know it's not really a very fast-moving pursuit, but it's a very heavy vehicle, and it's been going on for quite some time. There, the owner of that vehicle was actually getting gas about 2 hours ago, and somewhere at the gas station, that person behind the wheel now just stole the vehicle. It was a crime of opportunity, as we understand it. Now he's made his way through the valley for much of the area, much of the morning, for about 2 hours or so. And you know, I understand that a lot of this stuff isn't local viewers. So when I say the valley, I'm talking about San Fernando Valley, out here in the California area. Now they did see some really scary moments where somebody actually tried to block that vehicle in. It was a little blue, I guess like a Honda or something, and that truck just pushed that thing out of the way like it was nothing, created a lot of damage. And then, of course, a lot of folks that were nearby started to try to run that person down, meaning that, you know, they were making their way over to that truck, just yelling out the windows, you know, telling them to stop or whatever. That driver has no intentions of stopping and hasn't. So how does LAPD handle something like this? That's the big question. And, you know, I feel for them. Because how do you bring that thing to a stop? You can't do a pit maneuver. You can't get in front of it because we saw what's happened in the past. Well, there goes one of the tires right there. And what their deal was is they wound up using spike strips, and those spike strips have been pretty effective. Now that truck, on just the truck itself, not the trailer, has 6 tires. You've got 4 in the rear and 2 in the front. Now the passenger side, driver front, completely gone. And I can venture to say, from what we just saw, the duals in the rear are gone as well. So they're starting to lose the tires, and the good thing is it might not be able to go. If all those tires start coming off and you're just on the rims, it might have a little bit of a trouble actually going, and that will create an opportunity for officers maybe to bring this thing to an end. But very dangerous situation for sure. We try to poke some fun at it sometimes, especially on slower moving vehicles like this. But you know what that truck can do is very scary, meaning if he slides into somebody, a pedestrian, it could be tragic. And of course, and somebody just driving, it could be the same way. But right now, the pursuit just continues on, very slow speeds. LAPD, you've got one vehicle behind it. I know there's probably 4 or 5. And what they're doing is just kind of slowing the traffic. You know, this is Los Angeles, or this is actually the valley out here, part of the lost city of Los Angeles. And there's always a lot of traffic. This morning, I'm actually running the camera with one hand and holding the cell phone with the other. Sorry about that. But it basically is creating a lot of traffic problems. But, you know, LAPD, they got to keep people safe. And the only thing they can do right now is lights and sirens, let people know that this is coming down their way. And hopefully that driver just decides to give up. You know, if it was nighttime, we might be seeing some sparks coming out of that front rim. But because it's daytime, maybe not so much. If the tires come off completely, and this is where it gets kind of weird, you know, it's one of those ones, if the tires come off completely, depending on which side the drive wheel is on, you know, we might start seeing those shower sparks even in the daytime. That pumper, that is a very heavy piece of equipment. That has one tire is flat also on the passenger side. Now, people might be saying, well, gee, Stu, why aren't you on the passenger side? Well, flip-flopping with the helicopter, not that easy. And we always try to stay on the side with the driver, just, you know, in case this thing comes to an end. The driver's the one that we're going to want to keep an eye on. So that's one of the reasons why we're on this side. LAPD, they're trying to bring this thing to an end. That driver, you know, it's been going on for about 2 hours. If that thing has a full tank of gas, which it may have because they stole it from the gas station, you know, this could be going on for hours. But LAPD, their task was trying to bring this thing to an end, and what they're doing right now is trying to keep the public safe. As the speeds pick up like this is where I always get worried, because that thing's not going to be able to stop as easy because it's missing all the tires on the passenger side right now, basically running on the rims. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can hear me at all, but I lost you there for just a moment. You were talking about the types of pursuits and things, and LAPD is not going to just let this one go, if that was the question. They were in tracking mode earlier on, basically where they just kind of said, we're going to keep the helicopter over it, going to keep an eye on what's going on. And that's when things got really strange. That's when that truck actually rammed into one of the vehicles trying to stop it. And when I say a vehicle, I'm talking about a civilian vehicle, not law enforcement. And when that happened, that's when kind of things changed up a little bit. LAPD saw that this person is a menace, and it doesn't seem to care about property. That officer, his door is open, not because the air conditioning isn't working. It's open because he wants to be able to deploy if that suspect decides to get out and run. But we haven't seen that. That driver basically kind of keeping himself inside that car there. I don't know where you guys are located at exactly, but temperatures are hot out here today. And we were even venturing to say maybe the reason why he's
Copy all.
sorry about that. I was actually working with our local station there for just a second. But we were making jokes that maybe he's just trying to stay cool in there. But, you know, the reality is those police cars have got air conditioning as well. And when they take him to the police station, I'm sure there's going to be AC there as well, too. So that's probably not the reason why. But he just continues to drive around out here, just kind of meandering and visiting the same areas. We're back on the street where we were about an hour and a half ago. And you can see there you go. No tires at all, just on the rims, and this truck continues to drive.
Copy all. Copy all. Copy all.
Yes, yeah, sure, sure. Hey, what happened with digital? Did we ever get digital? Oh, we are on digital. Gosh, guys, you know, you guys are just seeing picture and no audio. I want to talk to you guys, let you know what's going on out here. Well, that's that pursuit that's been going on through the valley for about 2 hours, maybe more. And you can see that the spike strips have been effective. He's lost 3 of the 6 wheels that are actually tires. The wheels are still there. Uh, the tires that were on that truck. In the back there, you've got a dually, so you got 2 tires in the rear, 1 tire up in the front, all completely gone right now, and this truck continues to drive. But he also lost 1 of the tires, or maybe not. Look at that right there. That one's really starting to go low. That's going to start heating up. We're going to start seeing that coming apart as well. Now, this is all happening out here in the valley where, you know, you probably got the banner up there as well. Don't need to call out the streets, but I can tell you, what does LAPD do? I'm sure a lot of you folks, especially on the internet, you all have got ideas, and they're like, well, they should do this, and why aren't they doing that? You know what? What can you do? That truck, we saw it earlier on, basically just pushed that little Honda around like it was nothing, spun it around actually as it pushed it out of the way, pushed it into another vehicle. That driver actually made their way over to that truck later on, or the suspect behind the wheel, but then there wasn't really much you could do. You cannot bring that thing to a stop. You can't do the pit maneuver, but so what they've been doing? Well, they've been using those spike strips. And is it working? Well, people are going to say, well, it's not working, it's still driving. Well, you know what? It is right now. But if they continue to do it, maybe get the other tires in the rear, you know, I'm sure a lot of the folks out there, they all know how these cars drive, these trucks drive. And if they have no drive or there's no traction, that truck's really going to start having a problem moving. Do I want to see this turn into a standoff? I do not. Those are one of the most boring, lame things that we ever see. You know, where the cops can, you know, basically surround it. That guy sits in there until the AC stops working and then, you know, hangs out for gosh knows how long before they actually go in and try to get that guy out. So anyways, but right now what we want to see is this thing come to an end peacefully. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. And when those tires start coming off, that truck is going to become extremely harder to drive and very much less maneuverable. So those are the issues that we got to deal with while we're watching this. Of course, the driver is not the owner of this vehicle. This is a stolen vehicle. That is a very expensive piece of equipment. I had this talk with somebody else earlier on, basically saying, Stu, who cares how much it costs? Well, I'm sure the owner cares how much it costs. And of course, the people that work for that company, if this is the only one they have, there are a lot of folks are not going to be able to go to work later on or during the week. And that, you know, I care. I do. I'm not just playing. I care. So right now, we're going to keep an eye on it, see how they're going to try to bring this to an end. Right now, you know, they're going to need some tires to get that truck back on the road, back to work. But that pumper, that thing weighs a ton. I don't know if any of you folks are out there do any kind of concrete work, but that's what that is. That's a concrete pumper. Those hoses right there, they attach to that thing, and they pour concrete into that bin, and it pumps it out to areas where they cannot just pour at. And this is a very common thing. This is how they build buildings, parking lots, parking garages, pools, things like that. So it is an expensive piece of equipment. That thing is basically on the back is a giant diesel engine on wheels. And you can tell just by how this thing is hooked up that it weighs a ton, maybe more. And as far as what this truck is, that's a Ford 550. So I'm not really super up on that stuff. And you people could say, why don't you Google it? Well, I'm running a camera and talking to y'all. Y'all, you can be the ones that go ahead and Google it for me and let us know. But it is a 550. I'm venturing to say that's probably a full ton or maybe even a 2-ton truck. So that is a lot of vehicle right there, and it is hauling a lot of weight. Again, we're still making our way into the valley area. It started up in the northern part of the northwestern part of the valley. Right now, though, we're kind of going to be, where are we? We're in the Winnetka area, and we've been kind of hanging out over here a lot. So, at any rate, just letting you know what's going on, keeping you guys informed. I wish I could read along, get some ideas on what you guys got going on there. Somebody said something about low levels. I'm not sure if that was for the Fox Live Now, which is also a great program if you want to tune into that. But right now we're going to stay with this, and we're keeping an eye on it. Dylan, my pilot today, might be getting a little bored because we've just kind of been slow moving. He's keeping an eye on the other aircraft that are up here and keeping us all safe. As far as on the ground down there, who's keeping the public safe? What about the children? Well, there you go. LAPD is there on scene. They do have a helicopter above it. I venture to say they probably have swapped that out as well because this has been going for more than 2 hours. It's Police 10, so they have actually swapped it out. A helicopter's got about 2 hours of fuel. And so this has been going for more than 2 hours, and you can see what's going on right there. That driver, agitated, behind the wheel. That's the wrong truck, Stu, and that's the right one. Now he's got those windows up again, but we watched him earlier on eating somebody's lunch. I've ventured to say we didn't steal a car and brought a lunch, so he probably is eating somebody's lunch earlier on, whatever was inside that vehicle, drinking some of those power drinks. And right now, just keeping law enforcement at bay, keeping those silver bracelets off of him right now. But I venture to say that he'll be wearing them soon enough. And I do hope, honestly, that this does not end in any kind of way where that truck is totaled, somebody's life is lost or ruined in any way, shape, or form. And I do care about that suspect as well as LAPD. We do care. They do care about their suspects. And believe it or not, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. Even law enforcement when they're dealing with criminals. Right now, though, this pursuit continuing on, super slow, 13 miles an hour. Maybe I should dial it back from hockey and do a little bit of golf because of the slow moving. But I got to tell you, when I watch these things, it could change in a second, and we're going to be here when it does. Hopefully, that change is actually going to be that thing coming to a stop, that guy getting out and just walking over to officers and being taken into custody. I'm kind of just trying to find out if I could find my YouTube notification to see if I can follow you guys on the internet there, on the interwebs as it would be, but I cannot because I do not have a link. So let me see if I can find that so I can follow along. Somebody sent me a screenshot of the link, which is nice, but not helpful. Anyways, and when I say it's not even of the link, it's actually of the page. So at any rate, we're going to keep an eye on this. I'd love to read along, see what you guys' questions are. I definitely want to get interactive with you. If you have anything legit or cool to say, I want to know, but I can only do what I can do. Let me see. I'm pretty talented up here. I'm going to run the camera, get onto YouTube, see if I can find Fox 11, and also, here we go. Let me see. Maybe this is it. Oh, we have an ad. That looks interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We want to skip those ads. There we go. I don't think this is it. Oh, it is. Well, there we go. Now, how do I see the comments? I'm trying to get on here so I can read some of the comments, but it's not letting me read the comments, which is very upsetting. I wonder if I can comment. Oh well. Sorry guys, I made an effort. I'm going to try again later on, but It's continuing on out here. You can see that pursuit pretty slow moving as it has been for most of the time. LAPD, they've thrown those spike strips out more than once. They've got 3 of the 6 tires flat. Are they going to be able to get the other 3 flat on the truck, or at least the dually in the rear? Maybe, maybe not. We haven't seen any efforts pretty much since the last spike strip attempt. And right now you can see that that vehicle just kind of moving along. I thought they actually had one of the tires on the pumper itself, also on the passenger side, that front one on the passenger side there, going flat as well. But it has not come apart. I can tell you that he has 3 tires of his 6 still operational. Somebody might be saying, "Man, I only got 4." No, you got 2 in the back and 1 in the front. And the driver's side is the only side right there that still actually have tires on those wheels. On the other side, he's running on those rims. Those rims also pretty expensive. Hopefully that company's going to be able to get that stuff replaced quickly, and maybe some folks will help him out. But as it stands right now, this truck just continues to elude officers. The person behind the wheel, not supposed to be there, I venture to say, was a crime of opportunity. As we understand it, they was getting gas somewhere in the valley this morning. And after that tank was full, that gentleman that you see right there behind the wheel jumped in and took off. And it has been ongoing ever since. He seems to have a lot of interaction with a lot of folks out here, meaning folks being the people on the roadway. I was really kind of curious what was going on, because a lot of times, you know, of course, people know what's going on. You know, like you watching right now, and you might be like, "Oh, Canoga, Strathern, he's coming up on my street." But there's a lot of folks that are out there on the road, standing pedestrians and talking to this driver. There's some sort of interaction. Don't know what that interaction is, but he hasn't gotten out of the vehicle. Nobody's gotten in, which is also a huge plus. And the pursuit just continues to move along out here in the Canoga Park area. LAPD, they're tasked with trying to bring this to an end. Some folks might be saying, well, just put the cop car in front of it and block it in and this and that. This thing, you cannot just block it in. It will push through those law enforcement vehicles like nobody's business. And they don't want to see that, and it's not because they can't afford to fix their cars. They just don't want to be in a position where they are putting that suspect in a position where he could hurt himself, or the outcome could be unfavorable for the driver of that stolen vehicle. That's the reason why they don't do anything like that. Also, right now, you can see that this truck's still moving. I've never seen this thing go over 40 miles an hour. I know it can. The driver deciding not to push it that far, that's a huge plus. But right now, what can we do to bring it to an end? I wish I could read your comments, because I'd love to know what you're coming up with, because I'm out. I got nothing. We're just kind of watching it. There's the LAPD helicopter above it. Law enforcement down there all around it. And how to bring this thing to an end? Well, that's for other folks to figure out. We're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to talk about it. Really nice. I just got some information from from somebody who would know down there at the at Fox, saying that they are bringing in some vehicles that might be able to box it in. And if that is the case, this is going to get very interesting very quickly. I can't wait to see how that plays out. But right now, it's just kind of watch and see, and we're going to keep an eye on it and see where all this goes. Yep. Dylan, if you want to move it around, I mean, honestly, you can do orbits around this thing if you want. I mean, I know there's, yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't want you to get bored either, you know.
I don't know. You know those things go freeway speed, so they 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 probably didn't know it was going to go this long. Nobody knew it was going to go this long. Yeah. I wonder what happened. It's kind of odd that he just stopped. I hope this thing doesn't turn into a standoff. You got to bust the window first. No, he's got the window up. They do. They got BB guns and that to break the window, but with that tint, yeah, he's he's very agitated. I don't know what he was like moving stuff around. Maybe it was his hoodie. Yeah, he took his hoodie off. He's wiping his face on his shirt. And now he's looking around the cab. Now he's wiping his eyes. Somebody's watching and saying, "Yes, Stu, we can see that too." No, I'm telling Dylan, my pilot, because I guess law enforcement is asking. And my hashtag was Sky Snitch, so got to live up to my name. Next time you have concrete needs and you need a concrete pumper, call Atomic. I was going to say, they're in the valley and they've got some good equipment. Reliable. Yep. And I venture to say whoever was driving this and left the keys in it and left that thing running, never going to do that again. He keeps messing with his hoodie. Let's see what the officers are doing. You know, Stu, you've got this thing called a police scanner. What? One minute, copy all. That you hear me poofing you, right? I'm poofing you. Whatever. Kevin, what else have they got going on Topanga? What are they talking about? call back the PR and make sure he still has eyes on the animal. What animal would they have eyes on? I know they're not talking about this. No, it's not some sort of weird copy. Well, you know, I'm not sure if the spike strips worked or what changed there, but that driver bringing this thing to a stop out here in the Canoga Park area. We're actually at Canoga and Chase. Now, the officers, they've got their guns out. That door hasn't opened up, and they has shown no sign of him getting out of that vehicle. Is there a possibility that that truck can still drive and he can just drive off? There's always that chance. So right now, LAPD working to find a way to block this person in safely, but it is a standoff on Canoga and Chase. I'm Stu up in Skyfox. Back to you guys in the studio. Oh, no problem. Oh, yeah. I'm like a reporting machine. You say talk, I talk. You say stop, I stop. You know I say all this with love. I really do. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being mean. Oh, they're coming up with the plan. These guys are coming up with the plan. Oh. Okay. Return your cards. He's all right. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I was a not returner for the longest time, and in a previous relationship, I was schooled on how terrible of a person I am that I was not returning it. Oh, here we go. Doors open. That doesn't mean it's over. Hands are out. And he's out. And a little stretch. Okay. They always have the cool shoes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Right behind the pole. And they have that suspect getting out on his own accord right there, just for no reason. So I wonder if the truck just finally gave up, and that was the decision-making process. But he spent some time there in the cab thinking about it for a couple of minutes, and then the door popped open. You can see it right there. He's on the ground. LAPD officers, they are ready to take him into custody, but they are going to play it very, very safe. They just don't know for a fact if this person is armed or not armed, so they're going to follow their procedures. Right now, though, you can see these officers kind of getting ready to make their move, and then they also have to check that truck. They just don't know. We assume it is just the driver in there, but we pretty much know it is just the driver, but they don't. So right now, that suspect not complying, I would venture to say that that asphalt is pretty hot. Maybe one of the reasons why he's not just kind of laying there. Now he's getting up, but he's got his hands out. You just don't want to see anything unfortunate happen, especially with any kind of quick moves from that suspect that's kept kept these officers at bay for so long. But right now, the waiting game is almost over, and you can see the officer making that approach. I have a feeling that he is going to give up quite easily. Those cuffs are going to go on, and this coming to an end after probably more than 2 hours of chasing that truck through the valley out here this morning. But again, peacefully, no injuries as we understand it to anybody involved, thank goodness, and that suspect getting into custody, and hopefully that company going to get their truck back and those repairs done very quickly. Copy. Yes. I wanted to talk about shopping carts. I am a Starbucks Reward member. Nice. I spent so much money there. Well, I don't know what I got right now. I'm going to look. I had 3,000 stars the other day, and I was like, I should start spending some of these. Yeah, 27. 2,700 stars. 2,764. Starbucks app, that I can get open in a heartbeat and do that no effort. I heard that if you get 1 million stars, you can actually buy one of the Starbucks stores. I don't ever want to get any of my Starbucks baristas in trouble because I'm friends with all of them, but they actually just gave me a cold brew maker the other day. It's probably about a month now. Yeah. No, no breakfast. No breakfast. Well, if we still are on the internets, well, that's not that good. I'd like to have more. Anyways, we're keeping an eye on what's going on out here. You saw it's coming to an end. That suspect just getting out, kind of doing his thing right there. Looks like he's familiar with the process, to say the least, as he's making his way over to the back of that police car, probably air-conditioned, I would venture to say. As far as the truck itself, I wonder if it ran out of fuel. I wonder if it just stopped running. But at any rate, hopefully it is going to be okay. Everybody's going to get their property back, and that truck will be out working again soon. Yeah. What is it, Wednesday? Isn't that meatloaf night? I mean, it's been a minute.